Caitie, how many episodes do you think it's going to take him to release the next Dragon Age game? Are we going
Uh,
over?
Okay, hold on. So typically, you're not asking for Veilguard. You're asking for Dragon Age 5.
Yeah, let's see. What's the case? Is it like have we established some sort of metric for measuring this? Is it coincidence,
Oh.
or is it now a standard measurement that 100 episodes of Split the Veil equals one Dragon Age release?
That's a great question.
And if that were the case, do you think we could manipulate it by just recording 100 bullshit episodes?
I was about to say, like, what if we just really cranked him out after Veilguard comes out? Can we cheat the system?
Just 100 episodes of me going, "Hey, Caitie," and you going, "Hey, Jordan," and you're going, "All right, the rest are all."
Goodbye. Hey, look, if that worked, I would force you to do a ton of these.
I would be up for it.
Well, yeah. So, happy 100th. There's definitely been stuff we could have talked about before now, like Game Informer closing and whatever. And I think a little bit of us not having another episode in between now and the last is that we did want to save the 100th for something cool. And I was also just really busy with a ton of stuff. My kid went to school, and that was a lot of work, and had a lot of video stuff to do. I don't know what you've been up to. We haven't talked much, to be honest.
Yeah, time is flying by. One thing I do want to mention, I would be remiss not to mention it. You talked about it for a split second there.
Yes.
Like from a continuity standpoint, I guess our last episode, we talked about Game Informer coverage.
Yeah.
And in the interim time now, of course, many people may know that the news has come out that Game Informer has been shut down after 30 years, 25 some years of being one of the most well-known video game publications.
Just like I knew like magazines are just hard up right now, but most I feel like a lot of places have a decent like online service or whatever. And I thought Game Informer was doing okay, and it just bam, it's gone. All the articles were gone.
Yeah.
It's just over. And it seemed like a lot of the people on the staff didn't know either. It was awful.
I don't think they knew at all. I don't think Game Informer was doing poorly at all as far as a publication goes. I think GameStop, which owns Game Informer and has for a couple of decades now, is in a lot of trouble as a retail operation. They are not adjusting, and they haven't been adjusting. Other than a couple of meme stock boosts, they have been on a steady decline as a company for 15 or 10 or maybe 20 years, depending on who you ask. They haven't adapted well as retail shifts online, and I think they're just trying to cut costs wherever they can without closing more stores.
Yeah.
And so Game Informer had to bite the bullet. But anyway, I don't want to make it the Game Informer episode just from a continuity standpoint. I'd be remiss not to mention, Dragon Age is the last Game Informer cover ever.
No, there is another one.
Wait, is that really true?
Yeah. There people are, if you have the mail-in stuff, people are starting to get whatever the cover is after that.
What's the last cover? I didn't know that.
I didn't recognize the game, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Well, Dragon Age is the last Game Informer cover anyone's going to give a crap about.
Well, I honestly don't know what the other game is, but like the most of like big games, yeah, Dragon Age is the last. Which someone pointed out that do you know what the last Prima guide ever printed was?
Oh, I sure don't.
It was Anthem.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough for Prima. That's tough for Anthem. That's tough for everybody. That's
I can also just say like a guide for Anthem seems so weird even at the time. Like that's just not a game.
I could write a guide for Anthem, close the game and uninstall it.
I feel weird talking about Anthem because there is like some like fond memories there, but I also remember like the two of us talking for 2 hours just bitching about it. So like
yeah, no, I think honestly I had fun in some sense, like live streaming it and things like that, and your Anthem and a couple of like content creators really made it more interesting than it probably was at its core. But despite the community and having fun times playing it, it's the least Bioware game probably ever that they've done, so.
Yeah, no, definitely. But in more positive news, we just got so there was a roadmap released, and the release date is out, and we have a release trailer, with pre-orders and a whole bunch of boxes. So where do you want to start off with?
Phenomenal news. Wherever you want to start off with, I'm good. I'm excited to talk about all of this stuff. It does feel. I'll just say this, if and not to jump ahead too much to the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
but immediately I went to look at the comments from people on the trailer because not all of the marketing material that's been released has been met with a equal amount of enthusiasm. And I
Yes,
will say that this feels like a shift in tone as far as what people
it
are expecting.
does.
And
It
I was
does.
kind of like, I'm not trying to cheer from the press box too much, but there was a little bit of a fist pump going. Okay, all right, that's we're back a little bit here.
Yeah, no, it really does feel like that. And like there's always going to be people that say like woke DEI game, whatever, how dare you. But like those people are always going to exist. But yeah, no, for the most part like I've seen a lot of like this is the trailer you should have released. This is great. We love blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's the thing here and a lot of people are excited about it. And I do want to say that so when the initial trailer came out and me
Mm-hmm.
and like Kayla were sitting here trying like no things have been changed, things look different, this is what we meant. And if you compare the character models from the trailer of the release to or the release the teaser no, what was it called, reveal trailer, there we go.
Reveal trailer. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever the fuck, the first one, the character models from the first one to this one, they are slightly different, and that's what we saw.
Mm.
So it's rough to like, how dare you Fortnite. I'm like, okay, I don't know why that one's that, but like they changed, so like I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the tone of the trailer definitely matched the one that's released, definitely matched what we were met with when we played. So when the other trailer came out and it's a little bit happy go lucky and everyone's like, how dare the tone, I'm like, okay, but it's not actually. So like
Yeah.
imagine our frustrations when the first trailer comes out and we're also not like we knew what it was,
Yeah.
but like we also knew what this trailer would be kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, but
Yeah.
so that's kind of where we were. So I'm glad everyone's on the same page now. Um, yeah. So I guess we're talking about the trailer. So just overall, like it sounds like you are positive about it.
Oh, on the trailer itself, it's the best trailer they've shown.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
it's the best trailer that they've shown. Seeing Morgan got a real reaction from me, even though it's not a
Yes.
surprise. No one should be surprised that Morgan's going to
Yes.
appear. But when she appeared and she's wearing her mom's little headpiece, whatever you want to call it,
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, damn! Okay, we're back."
Oh, and the animation of her transformation was so
It
good.
was smooth. It was really good.
Oh,
I
it
will
was
say,
really
I
good.
not to start on like a harp. I don't know that I love this art style, to be honest, but
Mm,
it's a small thing. I noticed that for about 5 seconds, and then I was like, I'll get used to it. It's fine. It's Morgan. I don't care. All the characters look different in every version of the game.
yeah.
Once you get used to Inquisition Morrigan, you forget that she doesn't really look like Origins Morrigan,
Hmm.
and then your memory rewrites it, so you just remember the new one. So it's
Can
fine.
can we also just point out that Origins Morgan sucked? Like the look of her, like she looks weird.
I think a
Let's
lot. I
be
mean, she looks like the other characters in the game, but
no,
if you look
no.
at that
Your
retroactively, she
your
looks weird.
memory blinds you, and you're thinking of a mod. Probably look at
Maybe
Origins Morgan raw, and you're like, oh my god.
it could be. You could be right. It's been a while since I played Origins. In all honesty, so it could be.
Yeah. So, and no, I like. I'm not trying to say like you have to be into this art style, but like, yeah, it's not as extreme as it was.
The thing that and I don't even know how to describe what it is that I don't like about it, but the
Mhm.
thing that really strikes me is that I remember in the pre-release to Dragon Age 2, there was a real big, it was talked about by the developers and art directors and everyone that one of the criticisms that was apparently levied against Dragon Age Origins was that it had too much of a quote generic fantasy art style, that it
Mm.
didn't look distinct enough. And if you notice, like Dragon Age 2 is when I feel like more of the iconographic sort of style of Dragon Age starts to
Oh,
emerge.
definitely. Yes.
And that was very deliberate on their part. And so I think now there's almost like, I kind of feel like Bioware is damned if they do, damned if they don't. They have a distinct art style for Dragon Age, and some people don't always like it because it doesn't look like, I don't know, quote unquote regular dark fantasy. But they did that already. That's how they started, and everyone said, "Oh, it looks too generic." So there's going to be a complaint either way.
Oh yeah.
The point is, the content that they showed in this trailer got me hype as fuck. There's a griffin.
No, yep.
there's okay. Can we just go right to the thing that probably made everybody jump out of their
Uh-huh.
seat?
Uh-huh.
There's a fucking dreadwolf in
There's
this
a
thing.
dreadwolf. There's a dreadwolf.
I watched this thing. I watched it for the first time at work. Okay, and thankfully I was in a room where nobody could see me because I was sitting down, and I went oh, and I like almost like fell out of the chair. I was like, holy shit. And then, fun fact for people that I didn't know, I was just like looking through YouTube, and I saw your live stream reaction come up, and I was like, okay, watch this. Skip to the part where the wolf comes out, so I can see how Caitie reacts. And then you had, without a doubt, a very genuine and satisfying reaction. I'm sure everyone would agree.
We have generally been asking like, oh, do we get to see the wolf farm? And they're very coy, like, oh, you have to see. So I generally didn't know. So suddenly, just like when you watch it, there's like a delay of it on screen and me going, but that's me like calculating, like, oh, big wolf, big whoa. So yeah, there's definitely, again, there's things I don't know. I didn't know that. I was very excited about it.
Look, we wanted to see this guy turn into a wolf, and now it's happening. And maybe that's a very maybe we're too easy to please on that front, but what do you expect? This is what people wanted.
Yeah, well, there's even like a bunch of theories floating around, like so the shot right before where it's like a dragon swooping down, it looks like rooks in the front. And then like the next scene is obviously the rook or not the rook, the dreadwolf jumping to the dragon, kind of where Rook was. So people like, oh, did like Solus possess Rook? And that's actually Rook in a way. There's been that theorized. I generally don't know. So I am excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's funny. You know also what it made me think of almost immediately? Do you remember, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago when it just felt like this happens every time with E3. There's a bunch of bullshit rumors that come out about what's going to be shown and what's going to be revealed. And at one point there was like a 4chan so-called leak about Salos turning into a wolf.
Yes. How could I forget Salos?
I thought of the fucking Salos guy. He's out there going like, I fucking told you guys. Complete bullshit, but like a good guess is that there might be a giant wolf at some point. It's a pretty decent guess. It's like a psychic going, I see a man in your life or something like. It's like, yeah, well, probably.
Yeah.
I thought of the Salos guy.
Yeah, and the trailer was really good. I had a lot of fun with it, and I do feel bad because I'm not going to be doing an analyzing trailer. My analyzing the trailer was me doing it live, just because I just don't have time in between everything else I'm trying to get done. But I think one thing I was a little bit shy on doing is that you could actually identify a lot of the people in the trailer by Tevinter Nights and like some of the short stories and other extra media. And like I have seen a bunch of correct guesses. And there's one person I haven't seen guessed yet because they're kind of hard to see. There is on Reddit someone pointing out this person, so I know like it's out there that they've been noticed because again, they're hard to see in the trailer, but like no, haven't seen anyone connect who it is yet. But yeah, no, like a lot of the characters that were showcased there, you can name. I think there's only like 2 that no one's going to be able to get because not in extra media. And like that's are in like, you know, some like characters that they're just kind of there. They're not really anybody, and then they're usually like turned away from the camera. But oh, maybe 3. Oh, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so it's fun. Like if you've really been keeping up with the extra material, like, and you go, oh my god, is that so and so? Yes, it's probably so and so. It really is. I will say I really don't think that one guy's Felisan though. Guys, Felisan's dead. It's okay, you can let it go. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really don't think it is. But oh yeah, and all the dragons, like I was trying to, like, when I was scrumming through it, like there's like 5 different dragons, Jordan.
yeah. Finally, it's this franchise is living up to its name.
Yeah, and then Gillenon, and then, oh, it was so good. I love Gillenon. I'm so glad she's here and looks just fucked up. I love it.
Harding has powers.
Harding has powers. Yeah.
We knew that, but seeing it, I thought was like, oh, okay, we're putting this on Front Street. Very nice.
I, again, am very surprised that was put on Front Street. I'll never not say that because it was kind of like a little twist. You're like, oh my God, what are they going to do? And then they just like said it day one. Like, oh, okay, we're just doing this. So I will say, like, yeah, some of the stuff that I know, like some of the stuff in that trailer is like later in the game. And like I am surprised. I guess I'm not that surprised. Like if you look at the Inquisition trailers, you're like, oh, that's the final battle with the dragons clashing. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
And that's what
true.
kind of I'm assuming the Dreadwolf form is. Like if that's not like the end battle, I'm going to be shocked.
Right.
But
It's like anime opening sequences. They're technically
yeah.
giving you the whole plot if you go back and watch it afterwards.
So yeah, no, great trailer. Had a lot of fun. So what about do you want to talk about the pre-order stuff? Because that's kind of fun.
Pre-order stuff for sure. One other thing though, a couple of things on
Oh
the
yeah.
trailer. The bits of gameplay that were, or if you want to call it gameplay, the combat
Yeah.
animations, I think they
Yeah.
were more like finishing moves.
They were, I think, yeah.
Small as that might be to some people, I liked it. I thought it looked visceral. The one where he hits the demon with a shield, I go, okay, this type of thing, I think I just think it's good to see, and it stood out to me as being like, okay, if you're going to go with a real time action system, you want to make sure that it feels visceral, that it feels impactful. And I'm not saying that they weren't trying to showcase that in the other gameplay reveal, but the particular animations that they showed this time, I thought were the best looking ones we've seen of the combat. So I was very pleased to see that. And then too, the dragons, the variety, not just a number, but like,
yeah,
they look very distinct, which I really appreciate.
They do, and like I think they did a good job with them. Like I've been calling it the Elgranon dragon. I don't really know what it is. It just has the same like crown that Elgranon does. That's like the one that's in like the red area. And I think it's also coming out from a water later on. That dragon looks sick. I love how big its stupid horns are, and it has like a little like jaw type of thing going on. I don't know. It just looks kind of cool. So I don't know. I got like a lot of kick out of looking at the designs and stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so pre-order stuff. What are people getting for a pre-order?
Well, I guess okay. Here's the weird thing: is that none of the collector's edition has the game in included. Except apparently in Australia there is some seller that has the Virantium pack, which we'll talk about that in a second. That does include the picture looked like an Xbox copy of the game. I don't know if it's any copy. So if you're in Australia, you could technically buy maybe a version of the game with the pack included. I don't know. I don't know the details.
That's interesting that a retailer. I swear, I thought you were about to say that the Australians passed a law saying that you can't do that because Australians like to legislate. But no, it's good on whoever that retailer is.
Yeah, no, I generally don't know anything about Australia, but that would be a good pack to get, I suppose, because it comes with the steel book, and so that makes sense. So you can put the game in the steel book, and so it looks nice. Whatever. So yeah, there's two collector's editions or like collector like goodie boxes, I guess, because that just makes more sense than collectors because there's no game involved. But,
right.
So one is called Rook's Coffer and includes like a deck of cards with like the different tarot cards on it. It includes a potion flask, which unfortunately is not food safe. I think that's a wah-wah for me. Why not make it food safe so I can put dumb shit in it? Like, whatever. There's a dice that you can roll, and it like I guess the intent is it has symbols for like the different speech options, like a flirt, a yelling, and intimidate, that kind of stuff. So if you don't know what to do, you can roll the dice, I guess. It comes with a cloth map and a quiver, which is. And then the map is cool. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the clip. Oh, maybe I could turn it like a pencil case. I don't know. Like I don't know what I'm going to do with that, frankly.
Right.
It comes with like a little like lithographic print of all like a little slivers of the campaigning cards, which is kind of cool. And then the big meaty item is a life-size lyrium dagger that lights up and it's rechargeable, which I find very funny. So, I just love the idea of like Rook having to recharge the dagger.
He's got to put some extra batteries in.
Yeah,
got to hook it up to the USB-C real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think this is also the one that was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con. Because the
Okay.
quality, like the pictures on the website, the Bioware Gear store, look extremely similar, if not the same, to what was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con.
Interesting.
So if you went there, if you went to San Diego Comic-Con and thought, hey, that looks cool, or saw some of the photos, I hope you have, how much is this? $150
Oh, is that how much they're charging for that?
USD.
Good
Yes.
God, profit margins.
Yeah. I mean, I think at least the dagger's probably like $60 with it being rechargeable and whatever. But yeah, the other $40, you know.
Yeah,
Thing
these products are, I think, designed to come out with a high margin for the publisher, and hopefully people are excited enough to buy them.
Mm, I guess here's my thing also, like prices are so fucked right now. I feel like my sense of how expensive things are is just off.
Oh, that's true in general. Yeah.
Like, you go to the store, I'm like, "Oh, how much is this food item?" "Oh, what? Is that just what it is now?
Yeah.
I haven't bought this in 5 years." "Oh, is it 5 years? COVID. Yeah, all right."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. So yeah, so that's the Rooks cover. I think that's the cooler one. And then you have the Virantium pack, which unless you're in Australia, no one knows how to buy. People are really struggling on where to buy this.
That's not good, EA. If you're going to sell people
Yeah.
things, you make it
Well,
easy for them to know how to buy it.
I do have a little story on this. So I was emailed earlier last week that like, hey, what's your address? We want to send you the Virantium pack to open. They didn't call it by name, they just said open it. And on Friday, I was officially told what it was. I agreed to open, which it's the only agreement is we're going to send it to you. Do what you want with it, which is generally like, could you please post it? We'll bat our pretty eyes. I was going to do a live unboxing of it because I thought it'd be fun. And it was when everyone else saw what it was, I saw what was included. But my package doesn't get here until Monday, and I was supposed to be getting links to promote if I wanted to, and I don't even have that yet. So I'm assuming it's just not available right now, to be quite honest.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
so I guess if I do get it Monday, then look then and see. Like I still haven't gotten an email, and it's Saturday right now as of posting this, or as of recording. I don't know when we're posting this episode, but yeah, I don't. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so included is a steelbook. I know like we don't really have any pictures. This is an audio format for the most part, but it's like there was a like in-game cinematic that was released a couple years ago, and it's the Dreadwolf like Solus in front of like a yellow orb, and the Dreadwolf looking and menacing on one side, and then it's another Dreadwolf on the back of the steel case. It looks okay. It's kind of cool.
Hmm.
And then it comes with an icon art metal poster of I guess the first real mural we got for what we knew as Dragon Age 4 back in like 2018. Was it
18, I think
2018?
it was. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was 2018.
it was a while ago. It's definitely an old piece of artwork, but in a way it's kind of like nostalgic to me.
Hmm.
It does not give the size of these, by the way. I have no idea how big this is. It also comes with a notebook, a collector's outer box. Looking at it, it just looks like it's the box that it was shipped in. It doesn't look that interesting. And then there's like a little slab next to this metal poster, which I think is the magnet wall mount. I don't know if they think my wall is magnetic or what, but it's maybe it's the other way around. But yeah, so it doesn't, which yeah, I see right here, it does not even say what the price of this is. Um it just says check in with your local retailer to find out the availability of this edition in your region. So I don't know how much this is or what it is. It's the mystery one. And then there's a couple they also have like the art books you can buy, and there's a couple editions with that. If you're trying to buy from the Bioware Gear store for the art book, they're all sold out. It's gone already.
That's incredible. Good for
Yeah,
them.
it went out while I was on stream. Like within hours it was gone.
Oh, wow.
Um and yeah, we mostly miss that. You could probably buy a lot of these editions through other retailers like Dark Horse.
Right.
So it's like you could still get a copy, obviously. And yeah, that's it. Well, I thought what was interesting. So they have two. So they have like if you pre-order it, you get the Blood Dragon armor. If you buy the $10, is it $10 extra dollars?
Well, it's $79.99 for PC,
Is
eighty-nine
that
ninety
20
nine for
extra
console. Yeah,
dollars?
it's 20 extra bucks.
Okay, if you want to pay 20 extra dollars, you get um gear sets that are cosmetic only. They want to say. So it's not like it has extra stats of all, armor gear for you and all your companions and weapons. Which I think they look nice cuz they're kind of inspired by ancient elven gear, but $20 is quite a much.
Hmm.
Um and so there's that. But what I find interesting is that there's a different price point between the PC and the console for both.
Yeah, this has been happening now recently because I guess the PC price point is considered, for some reason, it's holding, but Sony and Microsoft have, pretty much made it clear that games cost $70 now.
That's
So
so crazy.
it is crazy, and I'm not here to. People have been mad about that, I guess, for a couple of years now, and more power to you. You should be mad about it, but in all honesty, I'm kind of shocked that the price point stayed at 60 as long as it did.
Yeah, honestly, like we as we were literally just talking about, like it's stayed, it's held for as long. Like I think $60 for a game is like at least 10 years old. You know what I mean? Like it's been like
Yeah,
that for so long.
game started costing $60 in the Xbox 360 era.
Yeah, yeah.
That's 2006, and so 10, 15 some odd years that it went like that. The price point of 50 did not stick around half that time. Like the games
Hmm.
kind of kept getting more expensive from 30, 40, 50, and then they stuck at 60 for quite a while. So
Hmm.
as disappointing as it is to think that games cost $70 now, we had a good run at 60 is, that's all you can say really.
And honestly, like they're talking about all this pre-order stuff and digital deluxe and whatever. Like, frankly, like unless you are just dying to play this game, like I am, and probably a lot of our listeners, you can also just wait like a little bit, and like these things drop in price pretty quickly. You know,
Sure. Yeah.
so patient gamers,
Yeah,
we
and
are the
I
winners.
I will say, like, I totally get it that people are excited enough to sometimes go and get the special edition, the sort
Hmm.
of loot crate type version that they're doing without the game.
Yeah,
That's all great. I'm not here to tell anyone else how to do that and spend their own money, but I will say I generally tend to avoid most of those things now. It doesn't dampen my excitement for the actual game in any way. I
hmm,
just look at those things as like they seem designed to kind of pad out some extra profit because the
yeah,
margins on all of those individual items are much higher than the actual game. And hey, I mean, if someone is satisfied with what they bought and the publisher, it's a sale. No one's forcing anyone to do it.
yeah.
So as long as people are happy with that, it's great. But I just remind people they're designing these things to get to get higher margins.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think it's also like nowadays fandoms and stuff work in a way that like this is really designed for the hardcore nerds. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like this isn't
Mm-hmm.
designed for Bob who just heard what Dragon Age was.
Sure.
Um because like like there's a very small select amount of games that if like I will buy the big fancy deluxe editions. Dragon Age is one of them. Animal Crossing is another.
Mm-hmm.
Um Final Fantasy 14 is kind of turning into that. But
Ooh, yeah.
I've unfortunately unsubbed as Dragon Age hits, but I miss you, Raha. But anyway, so I get that like there are people that are really rabid about this type of stuff because I'm one of them, and like yeah, why not give them something that they feel good about? And like I am in a weird position where I would totally slap down. Let's see, the Rook's coffer is 150 and it's like $80. That's what, $230, right? Am I wrong on my math there?
Yeah, sure.
I would probably slap that down, if I needed to. I am gifted the game and stuff and the Rook's coffer apparently, so I have not, and I'm very thankful of it. But yeah, no, I I'm a simp for Dragon Age. What can I say?
Stuff like this also you have to keep in mind the fact that it has to be there, right? Like if
Yeah,
they didn't offer these things, some people would be disappointed about like
that's
why aren't you
true.
offering them?
Yeah.
And so people will complain about the price. People will complain about the fact that it doesn't come with a copy of the game for the things like the Brooks
Mhm.
edition.
Mhm.
They will call out the $20 for 7 extra cosmetic items. And to be totally honest, like if people are doing the math and the cost analysis on this, they are correct. I think those items are all priced too high for what you're getting, but no one is going to force you to buy them, right? If someone else
Mhm.
buys them and they're happy, then it made sense because that person was happy with what they paid for what they got.
Mhm. So, yeah, and unfortunately, I think I would, because it looks like the ancient elven armor, and I'm again a simp, and I do feel bad that I am the person that is completely content with all of this deal, and I am the problem, and I am deeply sorry to everyone involved. This is my apology. So, uh man, okay, so was the roadmap. Yeah, what's coming up in the future? So we just had the release date trailer and announcement. Oh, we didn't even say the release date, did we?
No, we have not talked about it. It is
Yeah.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Trick or treat, motherfuckers.
I am deeply gutted that it's Halloween because I'm going to be going trick or treating with my kid.
Oh, is
So,
Halloween you're a big Halloween person? Yeah.
it's Holly. You take your kid trick or
Yeah.
treating. What are
Yeah.
you
You
gonna
have to
do?
do
You
that.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of live in a weird area where like there's just a lot of old people. So like we don't really get a lot of trick or treaters, but um we're going trick or treating. So my
Yeah.
little girl's got to dress up in her little dinosaur costume and knock on all the
Yes.
doors and go trick or treat and get like full size Snickers. We have to do it. But that being said, like she's in school now and it's a Thursday and it comes, which apparently it's like not a midnight release. I saw somewhere that it's going to release 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 11 a.m. for us, or
That's
me at least.
interesting. Yeah.
And so that means that while she's at school, I have all this time to play, and maybe I can convince my husband to pick her up so I have
Mm-hmm,
extra
mm-hmm.
time to play. So I got that going for me, at least. But yeah, no, it's Halloween. So yeah, you can now make the excuse to your work that you just want to take the holiday off with your family,
Yeah.
or God knows what. You're going to get shit faced at a party when
Yeah.
reality you're going to be at home playing Dragon Age.
Shoot, that's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna tell my boss. I'm gonna look. I got to take my kids trick or treating, and my
Yeah.
boss knows I don't have kids. He's gonna go, "What are you doing?" I go, "Look, don't worry about it. I'm gonna find some kids and take a trick."
No, you could just say like, well, this girl contacted me the other day.
Oh no!
I'm just trying to catch up with lost time, you know, man.
I go, "Oh shit! I didn't realize I got a bunch, boss. You wouldn't believe it."
I was wild in my 20s, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh
Um,
god.
yeah, no, I think it's exciting. This game is now a couple months away. After so many years of it being, we didn't know how long away, and so
Well, this is a great segue, Jordan, because we have been through the ups and downs waiting for this thing.
we have.
And so here I am. You gotta get your head in the 1920s. How's Titanic doing?
How's the Titanic? Oh no, you're
How's,
putting me on the spot.
I am putting you on the spot.
I have no Titanic bit prepared.
I know it's really hard. I'm sorry, and like it's only like so much you can say about the Titanic, so I understand. I understand. I am putting you on the spot. It's very difficult, but it's a favorite bit of mine. I don't care how many other people think it's not funny. It brings my heart joy.
I don't know where I could go with it if it doesn't come out spontaneously. I don't know. I honestly don't know how the analogy carries through at this point. The Titanic's not supposed to just like come into harbor and everything's okay. There's no.
What if it did though? What if it did?
You know. I don't know what to do. I don't think I can pull it out right now.
Okay,
As
okay.
much as I would like to, I'm trying to think. Maybe by the end of the episode, I'll figure out how I can construct that bit.
I will also just say, like, if at any point and I'm talking, you just want to interrupt in your old timey voice, I will gladly shut the fuck up. So whatever you need, whatever I need to do to encourage this,
Yes.
I am there for you.
I do enjoy doing the voice, but I got to make sure I don't want to abuse the voice without having good material to go with.
No, that's valid. I understand that.
Um. No, what was I going to say before we were talking about the release date?
Mm-hmm.
It does feel a little bit surreal.
It does.
It's now 2 months away, give or take. It's about 10 weekends.
I think it's 77 days or 76. It's something like that. But yeah.
It's gonna go by fast, and then we're finally gonna be playing this thing, and am excited, but it's kind of a weird thing that we've talked about this before. A numbness kind of set in somewhere in the decade since. And by the way, those bastards, they released it just in time for it to not be officially 10 years from Inquisition. I'm sure somebody was like, we can't let him say that it's been 10 years between Dragon Age games.
I don't think it's that. I think that they just want to give it its own identity. Because you can't be it's releasing on the same day as Inquisition. Then there's going to be tons of Inquisition comparisons. And because Inquisition, for some reason, has retroactively been considered a shit game, despite
even
my intense love for it. Yeah. I think they wanted to distance themselves from that. Because a lot of the marketing beats were basically, this is not Inquisition. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, too, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but the Mark Dara statement of like, I'm paraphrasing here, but like basically combat was never good in our games. And I'm like, what? I go, Jesus Christ, man. Like, throw all those old games under the bus, why don't you? Like, I really like all the combat in all those games.
Yeah, there was another quote. I do think that it was a little... So it was a quote in one of the Game Informer articles. Rest in peace. But where I think was a little bit, like, misquoted. But Babe was paraphrased as, hey, this time we meant to make the companions good. This time it's on purpose.
Oh, yes, I remember that. I remember seeing that as well.
And it's like, I kind of... having like talked to the team, I kind of know what you're trying to say, but that didn't come off well. And which maybe to clarify it, because I don't know if I've talked about this, what they're trying to say, I think, is that they have made each character integral to the plot. You're not going to get another Vivian that is cool character, but she does jack shit, just jack shit, so you forget about her all the time. And like, so I think that's what they're trying to say, rather than, hey, we made characters good this time. Well, it's a little bit spit in the face to even the one character from the previous game who is now like the main focus of this game.
Sure, yeah, exactly. That's a very good point.
Or Varric. But yeah. So that was really funny. The star saying, "Oh wait, this one's good this time, guys. Don't worry about it."
Also on release window stuff, I for one, as someone who's interested in playing a couple of other RPGs that had originally been slated for this time slot, I'm very glad that Avowed got pushed back, and now Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is also pushed back.
Oh, did they get pushed back? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's also going to be early 2025. Okay. And I don't know that KCD 2 necessarily had crossover.
Sorry, which one's that one?
Oh, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh, that's... sorry.
Because it's a role-playing game, but it's medieval. It's not fantasy. It's first person. But there's some crossover, choice and consequence, right? Mm-hmm. And Avowed, I think, would have been a direct competitor. So I'm glad that both of those games got pushed back, not just to clear the calendar for Dragon Age, but just to clear the calendar for me. I don't have to play all these games at once.
Well, I think I imagine like that's what they're trying to do. Like, okay, we know that we're technically competitors to Dragon Age. Dragon Age is going to be huge. They've already set this time slot. People only have so much money, especially in this economy right now. We're just going to take a step back and mosey on over a couple months. That's what I would do if I were those companies. So I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, I'm glad they did it too. And also, plus those games get a little more polish, and there's no shortage of things to play. So I feel good about that.
So let's talk about the roadmap of like what kind of marketing beats are expecting for the next... It's about a month. So next week, the week of August 19th, depending on when this episode comes out, it might have already happened, is the high-level combat and PC spotlight. They've already clarified that PC is like personal computer and not player character. And then the week after that, August 26th, is Companions Week. Don't know what that means. August 30th is a developer Discord Q&A, which I know that not a lot of people can do that. I will be recording it. Probably to lament of Bioware. But and then September 3rd is the first of IGN's month-long exclusive coverage.
Yeah, that'll be very exciting.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of people talk about how that's a bad sign because I guess IGN is too easy on their game ratings. I don't really follow a lot of gaming journalists, so I don't even know what to say about that.
IGN, if for my opinion, is just wrong on game reviews. I just think no, seriously, amongst me and my friends, it's actually a joke at this point that if
Mhm.
IGN reviews a game that we're looking forward to poorly, we say, "Oh, that must mean it's good."
Oh no.
Because they're absolutely awful at reviewing video games, which is really quite sad considering that's the point of IGN, or at least it was at one point.
Mhm.
But their preview coverage, their IGN first stuff, to me is very good. It's
Mhm.
just they do in depth. They oftentimes get, obviously there's exclusive in the name of the thing. So a lot of times I feel like IGN first coverage and Game Informer cover story coverage over the past few years has been the
Mhm.
best preview coverage out there. So I actually think I actually am optimistic about their preview coverage, but their reputation for having just completely shitty reviews is 100% accurate.
That's funny though. Okay, well, at least the preview stuff might be good then. Um, as much as I lament Game Informers, I was not really impressed with like they got it all out in one article and then just really had nothing afterwards. So I think there was like maybe like 3 sentences and a couple of pictures that was new from the month long coverage. So I'm kind of hoping IGN has something a little bit more meaty. And then which after the IGN, the roadmap does say sometime in September there's more to come. So this isn't the only thing left.
Yeah, Game Informer's cover story coverage for the Veilguard is the worst cover story coverage that they've done in years. Like as far as like there wasn't a lot of it.
Yeah.
Typically there's like in the last few times they've done that, there's like multiple like gameplay breakdowns and like
Mhm.
way longer sort of interviews. So it's not a knock against Dragon Age. I just thought Game Informer didn't really. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it
I
was a result of them
at
almost
least
getting shut down.
at least hearing Wesley, who was like the writer of a lot of that, talk about his experience at Bioware. I do think Bioware kind of shot them in the foot a little bit because they really didn't give them that much to do because like a lot of the stuff
Mm,
was even like
hands
he
off.
yeah hands off and like whatever. Again, I think is so weird because like I had a hands on a year ago.
Right.
Why couldn't this guy now?
Right.
But yeah, so I do think that was kind of strange, and I think it was just like maybe they weren't quite ready for that hands on yet for with the
Hmm.
journalists, and like maybe they shouldn't have done the Game Informer thing, but
Right.
whatever. What am I to say? So yeah, hopefully this next upcoming beats are kind of exciting. Um, there's another thing. The PC specs came out. Did you see that?
Yeah, I have a major gripe about that.
Oh, do say.
I, this is not how we release PC requirements in 2024. I don't understand what EA is doing. For a long time, everyone said, "What the hell does recommended requirement mean? We
Mhm.
don't know what resolution that is. We don't know what
Mhm.
frames per second that is."
Mhm.
And so I don't know, for like the last 5 years, I might be exaggerating. Maybe it's only been the past 3 years. The way you release PC requirements is minimum, recommended, and then typically like recommended plus and plus plus, which is like recommended is probably 1080p, 60
Mhm.
FPS. Here are the 1440p requirements. Here's 4K requirements. And maybe even separately, here's 4K 60
Mhm.
FPS requirements. Bafflingly to me, that's how the requirements have been released for Jedi Survivor and
Mhm.
Jedi Fallen Order, which are EA published games. I don't think this is a Bioware thing 1%. I think it's EA. This is
Yeah.
all in the space of publishing, but like, I don't get it because in reality, this doesn't tell us anything. The specs are also, they're really low, quite
They
frankly.
are. They are.
I think some people even wrote about that. Like these look kind of surprisingly low. And so I'm going out on a limb and saying recommended requirements is like it's a 1080p, maybe 60, like maybe that's 1080p 30. I don't know because they're not putting it in there. And
Mhm.
that's not really how any major releases release their PC requirements anymore. So,
I that's why I wonder if like PC Spotlight next week is going to like reveal any like more specs because like I was sitting down because I've been waiting to like look at doing a computer upgrade with my husband and I showed him the specs and he sat there. I'm like, where's the benchmarks? Where's the whatever? I'm like, I don't know.
mhm,
I don't know what I'm
yeah,
doing, Michael. So,
uh, it's not good. I'm with Michael. Yeah, yeah. We need those things to be specific. So I hope that that's what's going to come on the PC Spotlight.
mhm.
I would love to have them actually even show. I mean, this is probably a stretch. I don't think we're gonna get this, but I
Yeah.
love settings menus.
Yeah.
I would love if they showed stuff like that so we could know what's controllable for our graphic settings and all that type of stuff.
That would be great. That would be great.
And also just in general, I'm all about seeing more of the combat system. Uh, no matter what my dumb tactics brain wants to see, I'm like, show me what you guys have. This is what you're cooking. Like, show me what it is.
Yeah, I would be interested. I am interested in it too, because like we obviously when we played, we never got to a high level. So I'm wondering like when you're like max level, which I don't even know what the max level is.
Yeah,
My
that's true.
brain was just reading as like Inquisition was like something weird, like 26 or something like that. Like that was just the same because it's
Yeah,
Frostbite again, but I genuinely don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm wondering what they pull out there and like where they're going to be. Like, what areas are they going to be in? What enemies? I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're cooking for the PC spotlight.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
well, with that, was there anything else that happened?
Release date, editions, pre-orders, roadmap, and of course the trailer. What do you feel the sentiment has been amongst the faithful, like Dragon Age Twitter, etc.?
Oh god, everyone's going nuts.
Losing
Everyone's
their
going
mind.
nuts of the trailer. Yeah, if
Excellent.
you're not thirsting over the big wolf and Morrigan, or any of the companions, or Gillenon,
Right. Or skeleton goggles,
or
man.
skeleton goggles, man, which makes me sad because his man friend is my little baby boy. Um, yeah, no, like everyone's been super thrilled with it. A lot of people, even those that were very critical of the first trailer, they're like, "We're so back,
hmm
baby. We're
hmm
here. We are."
Which that's the reaction you would think would happen
Mhm.
is that we're back. So that's good to know that that people are happy.
Oh, I should say that the trailer also included a lot of the voices for the characters that we haven't heard yet. I did my best in a video of like, okay, this is roughly what they sound like. So now
Yeah.
you get to spot check me, see how close I was. But yeah, like did you like the voices? Did anyone sound kind of funky? I mean, it was very quick for most of them though. But do you
The,
remember?
no, here's the
Yeah.
thing
Okay.
that made me think of. I don't care about this, but I thought it was funny. I think I saw this in a YouTube comment. Claudia
Mhm.
Black lied. Some people were saying
Oh, I can explain that. I can explain that.
she said I'm not back, is what or something like that.
Yeah, so years ago, Jordan,
Yeah.
years ago, someone asked Claudia Black, "Hey, are you in the next Dragon Age?" And she's like, "Oh, no, I'm not." I can explain this. They had not contacted a bunch of voice
Yeah.
actors yet. It was too early, babes. Like that's they were not real. Like so, at that point, they had casted a lot of like the major players, so like all the companions and some of the player characters, but like they did not contact side characters yet.
Right.
We knew Solus was back because like he's just duh.
Right, he's
But
there.
yeah, of course he's there. But he's been doing voice work in like all of the side trailers. Gareth, David Lloyd, whatever their name is, like they he's been on Bioware payroll at least since
Right.
2014 in some form. So yeah, I it's if that she didn't know. She really didn't
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at
yeah.
me keep like I knew she was back a while ago. So I always feels like, "Oh, Morgan's not back. She tweeted this." And I'm like, "You don't know, you fools. You fools." So she didn't lie. She just was she wasn't
I'm
hired yet.
I'm so glad she's back. I don't care what she said,
Mhm.
even if she did lie. I mean, like, I don't care. Good. I'm glad she fucking lied. Fucking dorks. She's allowed to lie. She doesn't have to tell the truth. She's Morgan. Fool, you fool. You believed her.
Yeah, yeah. No.
So it's just great to see. It's great to see Morgan back. It's great to hear Claudia Black
Mm.
doing that voice again. Do you think, and this is, I'm going to put on my cynical tinfoil hat.
All right.
I really feel like this is a thing that's been happening now. Do
Mhm.
you think they release their less good marketing material first on purpose?
No. No, because I think there was a bit of a scramble when the last trailer panned. I don't think it was on purpose.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was on purpose. I really don't.
Okay. All
I
right.
really don't. I at least for the people that I talked to, I don't think it was on purpose.
Right. No. I think that makes sense when you say it like that. I guess
Mm-hmm.
my head goes to, it feels like the way that video game publishers are treated, I guess you could say, when
Mm-hmm.
a game initially launches is, other than a couple of like chosen ones. Rockstar Games, it used to be Bethesda, but not really anymore, Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like everything gets panned by the content creators, or at least some of them. And like,
Yeah.
it almost seems like you're better off stacking it in such a way where it looks like, we released this, you guys didn't like it, we have heard your feedback, and now we've done this, and everyone loves us now. I just wouldn't be surprised if that's something that publishers are thinking of doing on purpose now.
Okay. I think you're right. I just don't think business is slow and its marketing and how it thinks about marketing. I don't think businesses are there yet. They're not capable of thinking like that yet. You know what I mean? Like maybe an
Yeah,
indie dev is able to like go that quickly, but like there's just too much red tape and big business to do that, in my opinion.
that makes sense. I could see that.
Cause like the marketing trailer that came out first was very much of an era of like 2019, I think.
Right, it was something that was in the pipeline and being prepared years before.
Mhm, mhm. And it was that, and so it had that flavor, and I think, like, that Guardians of the Galaxy feel, like, they're
Hmm.
all stuck there. All the higher ups in marketing are, like, stuck there
Sure.
in their brain, like, "Look how much money that made." Meanwhile, like, us and everybody else have well since moved on from Guardians of the
Right.
Galaxy.
Right. They're in a
So
post Disney, post Marvel kind of a
Mhm,
world.
mhm.
And most of us are in a post Marvel kind of a world.
Yes. So, it's interesting. um to to see that happen, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the arc feels like it's on an upswing, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and apparently there have been people that have played the game other than myself, obviously, and the council, like journalists that have seen and talked to, and like maybe even see people that work there are saying like this is a game of the year contender. I will say that like it's been a lighter year. Like there's been some cool stuff come out, don't get me wrong, but I would be overjoyed if Veilguard won game of the year and we got two Dragon Ages. That would delight me to no end. And I'm sure because it's a light year or something, someone's going to complain of
They'll
like
say it again.
they'll say it again. I don't care. I'm going to take the Game Awards award and just eat it and right in front of them. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's weird for me to think about. I wasn't playing any video games for the first half of the year, so I don't even,
Mhm.
and I'm not plugged in anymore, so I don't even know what the contenders are. I'm sure some of those other RPGs I mentioned earlier maybe kind of sort of would have been in there, but I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know what the major contenders are supposedly for this year.
I've been I think there's a Final Fantasy VII remake in there. I think that was this year.
Oh, that should be a big one.
But I don't know anything else. Apparently Assassin's Creed, which Assassin's Creed just came out with something that everyone's complaining about. I don't really follow Assassin's Creed, so I don't know. Something about the animations being janky. I don't.
Sounds like Ubisoft.
Yeah, it sounds like Ubisoft. There was something about like there's an animation of I think it was the girl ninja running on a roof, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can see where the animations stop and start." And I'm sitting there looking at, it, I'm like, "Oh,
Jesus,
I
dude,
don't,
people have too much time on their
I don't
hands.
see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry." Yeah, whatever. So like Ubisoft has had such bad luck with like janky games that I would be interested to see if
Hmm.
they can beat that this time around. Good luck to them. I am not in the Assassin's Creed race. I don't care. Frankly, like AC to me is Animal Crossing. So you know, Animal Crossing had the acronym first. Get out of here. But yeah,
AC is Animal Crossing.
it's the truth.
It is. It's true. They did have it first. I'm not
Yeah,
saying they didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing for the GameCube, 2002. Is it 2000? I don't remember the date. It was a while
Yeah.
ago though. Well, yeah. I is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's all I got. I think it's exciting times, and is it possible that the next? No, we'll definitely be doing an episode before release.
I'm I have no secret knowledge. I generally don't know. I am coping because I really want it to happen. I'm really hoping that they have a character creator demo released and we can sit and talk about that.
Oh dear God, I would be so happy.
Oh, we all would, because it's going to take the amount of I've seen the sliders. The amount of sliders is stupid. It's you are
Phenomenal.
Overwhelmed. It's a lot.
Phenomenal. Oh my God.
It's not. I mean, okay, it's great. It's just going to be like, okay, it's 11 a.m. in the morning. I don't know if I can finish a character by the time I need to pick up my kid from school. You know what I mean? And because you also got to do the Inquisitor too, so it's a double whammy. So if they come out with the character creator beforehand, that would be such a boon. So you can just like sit there and I don't even know how they're going to do it. I'm assuming I'm just going to take screenshots of the sliders and go from there. But like, that's something. At least I can take.
Oh, if they did an exportable file, which is what they should do.
They should do.
They've done the codes from Mass Effect before.
Yes.
Mass Effect, you had the code for your Shepard. So we can dream. God damn it, we can dream.
We can dream, and I am dreaming because I would love for that to happen. But alas, we wait and we cry, and we paw at Bioware's door and give us the demo. Give us the demo. Right. Give us the demo, please, God, please. So, yeah. I've been waking up to drive my kid to school most days this week, and I'm tired, Jordan. I'm tired.
I think we're all a little tired. I think fatigue sets in. You don't know. Sometimes you're on a long journey, and you hit an iceberg. You go under the water. Some chicanery happens.
Yeah.
Mark Darrah leaves. He comes back. The boat comes back up. And then finally, you can see the coast as it approaches.
Are we doing it?
Are we doing it?
Sorry, did I break your concentration?
Caitie, yes, you did. Katie's excitement threw me off. Just imagine the guy like smoking a pipe and his suspenders are all loose and the tie's like not done anymore. Welcome to the fucking voyages of the goddamn Titanic. I don't know if anyone's even listening anymore. Half the people on this boat are fucking dead. I'll be honest with you. A lot of you didn't make it. Some of you fucking abandoned us. I know which one of you bitches have been playing Baldur's Gate 3. And now that the fucking boat's about to get back to land, all of you are coming back on the boat. The life rafts are rowing back to the Titanic. I know which one of yous have been romancing Shadowheart and Lae'zel. Solus will remember. But fear not for the faithful. We are here. We are about to finally come ashore. The glorious return of the Titanic. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, coming October 31st, 2004. 2024.
I'm just imagining it is set in the 1920s and it is 2004, so they have like 60 years.
It's gonna be a while.
Dragon Age Veilguard now for the GameCube.
Oh my God.
Besides, thank you for my gift, Jordan.
You're very welcome.
Okay, with that, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for 100 episodes, for putting up with our bullshit and terrible jokes and intros. We greatly appreciate you.
We love you guys.
Big kisses all around, and we can't wait to do Veilguard with you all. And with that, Duress Sharal.